The Scopper Gaban theories are running rampant in the One Piece community and taking over Elbaf as an arc, but to me this just highlights our future Pirate King's crew top commander Sanji, who is in the same spot as Scopper when it comes to their alignment in their Pirate King crew, who is behind, of course we know, Gold D Roger and Silver's Rayleigh, just how Sanji is behind Monkey D Luffy and Rono or Zoro, but still can hold his own. Though Sanji had some hiccups early on, from his broken leg versus Virgo to Doflamingo getting him jammed up, though he did bounce back on Whole Cake Island, like dodging the jelly beam from Katakuri, Vice Captain to a Yonko early on in the series was pretty impressive when he can see into the future and you still dodge it. To coming to Wano with that raid suit and kicking Page 1's ass, Sanji's stocks were up heavily. Now jumping to Egghead Island, Sanji had some hype moments like blocking Kizaru and Admiral, Luffy's opponent during the arc at light attack. Even Kizaru was shocked, like how could that, this is beyond physics, and that's what Sanji said, like he goes beyond physics when it comes to how he fights. He doesn't fight in the most rational way. Sanji also blocked Saturn's attack, one of Imu's strongest soldiers, a Gorosei, as well as kicking Venus Drew, another one of the Gorosei members, one of the stronger ones in my opinion. So I had to give Sanji respect in that aspect. So he's fighting admirals and Goroseis. What can Sanji not do? But a lot of people don't understand the reason why he got to that point. Now I can't be biased. They were still giving him the business during the Egghead Island arc, like Sanji pretty much got Vegapunk killed because of Kizaru. I personally think Oda did this on purpose because he wants to hype up a Kizaru Sanji fight where Vegapunk becomes a very deep topic and makes the fight deeper in that aspect. We literally saw Kizaru crash down on his brother Akainu over his friend. So yeah, Vegapunk, Sanji, Kizaru, I like where Oda's going with that direction. This will be a very emotional endgame battle, but back to Scopper Gaban, I think he's the man to make Sanji get to the level where he's able to fight Kizaru toe-to-toe like the same way that Luffy did during Egghead Island, and officially be a top commander of a Pirate King, which in my opinion has to be Admiral level. So let's do this deep dive, and you're probably wondering why I didn't talk about Sanji versus Queen. Well, this is what we are analyzing today and how this affects Sanji in the final saga. I'm going to explain why this fight is the most important fight in Sanji's pirate career. Now, we've seen Sanji have some pretty cool moments on the Onigashima raid. Yeah, of course the whole Black Maria stuff was kind of shaky, but with King, fighting King with the raid suit, and fighting Sanji and Sanji was fighting King and Queen at the same time, very cool. But to me, Sanji's fight in Wano really started when a situation happened where Queen stated that masters of Armanahaki could not prevent broken bones and ruptured organs from this pressure, where he wrapped around his dinosaur body, his Brachiosaurus body, around his opponents. They all got taken out of commission, and this is why Kaido respects Queen as a fighter. Yo, Queen is not no slouch. Yeah, he acts goofy and everything, but his power is respected, and even Jack knew to call him big bro. So this to me was when Sanji really got the highlight. Sanji himself even said that Queen is known for his toughness because Queen kept on tanking Sanji's attacks throughout the Onigashima raid. So when Queen does this attack, of course Queen had that goofy moment where he hit himself with the launchers twice. That was pretty interesting, of course, showing that Queen is very durable. But he does say it still should have killed Sanji, his squeeze that he did to him. And Sanji comes out looking very creepy, like his bones are like disorientated. He looks like a zombie, from Chopper's own words. It gets worse because Queen then jumps with all momentum in his dinosaur body and tries to break through Sanji with his sword. And he jumps into this attack, and it's epic because Sanji is not known for his durability. Like I just talked about the whole situation of Virgo. So for Sanji to do what he did was intense, and what Sanji did pretty much was break Queen's sword, and Queen knows he didn't use Haki, but still, that like even the people, the Beast Pirates, are like, it should be impossible for Sanji to do what he just did. And Queen remembers the exoskeleton and the abnormal regeneration and the great physical strength and the heart of ice that Judge was speaking about when it comes to the Germa soldiers, which of course we know Sanji's scared of that whole heart of ice part, but still Queen's starting to realize Sanji's not your regular guy. One aspect in this Queen versus Sanji fight that really made me happy as a fan is when Sanji was running away from the Beast Pirates and he was tanking the bullets. It kind of reminded me of Luffy early on in the series, how he used to tank bullets. For some reason, I just felt like Sanji was a monster from casual moments like this. I felt like Sanji elevated to some insane power through this, because before this Sanji was just a regular human. It gets better, guys, for Sanji, because Sanji then speed blitzes Queen, who couldn't even see him, and uses this attack called Hell's Memories. Now, we already seen Hell's Memories in Fishman Island, but when he does Hell's Memories here with his exoskeleton, it really packs a punch to Queen. And Sanji is self-aware to the punch he just packed to Queen, saying, "You're really banged up because of my Hell's Memory attack. It has lasting damage, and we also been fighting for a while." So Sanji knows this is how he's gonna defeat Queen. He already knows, like, because of what happened in the past, he's seen the patterns of things. He knows Queen is looking kind of rough, and now that I elevated my power, it's time. Sanji takes it to the next level and goes invisible again, but this time for a long period of time. And Queen is shocked. He's like, how are you able to go invisible? Like, he's doing this, he's doing what his raid suit that he destroyed is doing without the raid suit. Like, he's invisible with high speed movement, causing that invisibility makes it even better, because he's not just being like, if you're invisible, you can like tippy toe and everything. Like, yeah, Shade of the Rain has that invisible Adult Fruit, and it's cool when he does his sneak attacks. But Sanji's also putting force into his attacks because he's moving at the speed at you can't even see him with your eyes. And then Sanji is so powerful, he's starting to realize how powerful he is, because Sanji starts explaining his attacks, and this, like, people are not understanding. This is so hype, yo. Sanji is explaining how he's getting stronger to the fans. Oda is not known for doing this. Sanji talks about his exoskeleton muscle and his speed, all of which increase all his strength. We know Kizaru said in Egghead Island, speed is strength, so this is just making Sanji exponentially stronger. And then Sanji even mentions his armament haki, how he's been developing it to add on to his exoskeleton as well, to support his hotter flames. Like, Sanji is boosting his power in so many different categories with Ifrit Jamba, faster acceleration, heavier weight. The way Sanji explained himself, I'm gonna be honest with you, Sanji was looking, if Congress Haki coding wasn't a thing, I'll say this right now, the whole Sanji Zoro debate would have to be mentioned. And then of course Sanji finishes his food. He is a chef, of course, with that last attack, the burst attack that he did with adding on to Ifrit Jamba, Boof Burst, that sends that dude flying. Like, Queen got sent flying. Like, it was not just that attack, he did multiple attacks with his Ifrit Jamba. That's the reason why Queen is so beat up by this attack. But still, Sanji, in my opinion, gets a lot of respect from me because he defeated one of Kaido's top commanders in a 1v1 fight with no help. Like, no help. Sanji beat Queen with no help. People are not realizing how dangerous Sanji is. And honestly, I think Sanji did it relatively easy once he got his power up. Now, I want to stay away from Sanji for just a little bit, not too long, because this is a Sanji video, but I have to mention Scopper Gaban, my other topic in this video. I've always been a fan of Scopper Gaban, but the moment him and Rayleigh were about to fight Kozuki Oden, and Roger said he didn't want them to get hurt, and they of course knew it, as Roger just wanted to fight Kozuki Oden for himself, and he did that divine departure, is the moment that solidified my love as a fan for this character, because Oda was telling me that Scopper Gaban can stand next to Rayleigh, a guy I respect so much for training Luffy in all three types of haki, and being known as the Dark King, as the vice captain to the Pirate King. Silver's Rayleigh is so respected that Blackbeard just recently walked away, even though Rayleigh knew Blackbeard would have won that fight. Blackbeard is the respect of his reputation. Scopper Gaban standing side to side with that character, challenging Kozuki Oden, who is Yonko level, who conquers Aki Clash with Whitebeard, took a divine departure unlike Yusa's Kid and got back up, and also went on to fight Scar Kaido and almost beat him if there wasn't distractions. Scopper Gaban, in my opinion, this moment solidified him as a legit character. Not legit character, a legit top tier. Now it gets even better, because when the actual fight starts with the Roger Pirates versus the Whitebeard Pirates, Rayleigh and Scopper Gaban are the ones who are actually leading their crew. It's side by side. Like, again, this is just amazing to me. And then Oda does even further in the anime by giving Scopper Gaban the ability to fight Kozuki Oden rather than Rayleigh. Now, I'm not saying that Rayleigh is weaker than Scopper Gaban, but Oden fighting Scopper Gaban is like Oda's trying to tell us, we already know Rayleigh's the vice captain. We already know he's the second strongest Roger Pirate, but Scopper Gaban is able to fight Kozuki Oden. Oda is telling us that, yeah, he is a monster, a top tier on the Roger Pirates, and not that far behind Rayleigh. Now, Egghead Island, it gets even better for Scopper Gaban fans, because we see him not just standing next to Rayleigh side by side. and fighting Kozuki Oden. No, he tells Roger, his own captain. Now this is when they were younger. This is when Scopper, Rayleigh, and Roger were younger. Roger looked like young Ace. Like these guys are in their 20s around this time. This is the God Valley incident. He tells Roger no special privileges for the captain here, meaning that he really thinks that, because there's guys like Garp, there's guys like Roxy Zebek, there's guys like Whitebeard. These are guys in Kaido's top 5 that are here. And Scopper Gaban wants to smoke with these level of guys. There's also Shiki. There's also Big Mom. Like, and we already know that there's Roger alludes to them fighting a year ago. So, if Roger was fighting Roxy Zebek and Rayleigh was probably fighting Whitebeard, who was fighting Big Mom? Who was fighting Shiki? It has to be Scopper Gaban has to be fighting one of these top tiers in their primes. Shiki and Big Mom in their prime, if he's able to fight that, and he's telling his captain no special privileges, he wants Whitebeard, he wants Roxy Zebek. I'm telling you guys right now, Scopper Gaban wants to smoke. He's a legendary pirate, and he's looking for the fade. This guy is hyping up the 3rd commander level that hasn't been that hype. He's giving aura to that level, and Sanji, I have a lot of hope because of this. Now, I must admit, Wano was the arc that really solidified Sanji as becoming soon the top tier that a lot of people were put into question before this. Before Wano, people put into question Sanji being a top tier. But there's one little issue that we run into. Luffy is a Kankosaki coding user from Wano. When he took on Kaido, he learned Kankosaki coding, and that really was a big deal in that fight. And Kaido even mentioned it, like, yeah, it's cool and all, but Haki transcends all. And Kaido said Kankosaki coding is what really takes you to the next level. Only a rare amount of people can do it. Then there's Zoro. Zoro getting Kankosaki coding was the one that shocked me. Luffy was expected, but Zoro getting it, I'm not saying that I was surprised Zoro had Kankosaki in the first place. I always expected him to have Kankosaki because Rayleigh had it, but for him to have Kankosaki coding really showed me that Oda really wants to go next level when it comes to elevating the young generation, with Luffy and Zoro leading the Straw Hat Pirates into Pyro King level crew level. So yeah. And then there's Yamato. Yamato was a Kankosaki coding user with a mythical zone Delfruit that Oda almost put on our crew. Yamato almost became like the Odin-like level character on our crew, who was able to fight Kaido in his hybrid form. Like, if Yamato joined, this would be a real issue, because now we have Luffy, Zoro, Yamato, 3 Kankosaki coding user, and Luffy and Yamato are mythical zone users. Like, for all we know, Yamato could be even stronger than Zoro. Like, Yamato is still up in there when it comes to the power scaling there. I might do another video on that, but that's another topic. But still, in my opinion, Yamato not joining gives Sanji room for the next level. What I mean by that is even Oda trolling us with having Jinbei having a higher bounty. Jinbei during Wano had cool moments of using extreme armament haki, like full bar armament haki, to destroy who's who. So Jinbei elevated his armament haki to the next level in this moment. We already knew he had strong armament haki when he blocked Big Mom's attack during Hokage Island. Yeah, she was nerfed, but still. So to me, I really believe Jinbei is where Sanji has to differentiate himself from Jinbei to the levels of Zoro. And to do that, I think he has to leave this territory of not having Conqueror's Haki. I believe Sanji needs Conqueror's Haki. It's hard for me to confirm he's gonna get it, because Zoro had signs because his goal is world's greatest swordsman. Luffy had signs because he wants to be Pirate King. Like, we've seen the signs of these Conqueror's Haki users. But Sanji, does his ambition, like when King said it to Zoro, your ambition is kingly. Does Sanji have ambition, kingly ambition? For right now, it doesn't look like Sanji has ambition, kingly ambition. But I think that what helps Sanji is Scopper Gaban. If Scopper Gaban is confirmed to have Conqueror's Haki in this Elbaf arc, they've been hyping him up, meeting with Crocus, and then waiting for the straws to come. And if he's Colin's father, who they said all the Elbaf giants respected Colin's human father, if it's legit, and he fought Kozuki in the past, it will confirm this guy to have Conqueror's Haki, in my opinion, because giants respect Conqueror's Haki. We've seen it with Rayleigh and in the auction house. We've seen it with Shanks, Elbaf. We've seen it with Joy Boy. They respect Conqueror's Haki. Also, Usopp might pop out with Conqueror's Haki. That would be a game changer as well. That would be crazy. And imagine Sanji with Conqueror's Haki coding defeating one of the Gorosei to help take down Imu, or Sanji with Conqueror's Haki coding to defeat Kizaru. We know that Luffy was using it against Kizaru, so Sanji is not a far-fetched thing. I think it's the final step for him becoming top tier in the story. And in my opinion, Elbaf is the arc where war was born. I think every guy in Elbaf that wants to get stronger, this is the perfect arc to get stronger, because this arc is all about fighting. And I think Sanji's gonna get stronger. I think Zoro's gonna get stronger. I think Luffy's gonna get stronger. But I think Sanji is gonna get a lot stronger because of Scopper Gaban. And that's why I had to make this video. It might be redundant because people are like, yo, you're talking about Scopper Gaban too much. But I think it needs to be said that Scopper Gaban is gonna help Sanji in the whole power scaling case. And if you disagree, just debate in the comment section like always.